All right. Okay, so hopefully this isn't too repetitive to hopefully this isn't too repetitive for those who may have heard what I said yesterday in the Mechina. We'll learn something from Rav Kook. I hope the wind isn't too bad. Can you hear me, those who are listening in? Is the wind affecting the recording? The wind here. Okay, so Rav Kook says in Orach HaMilchama, when there's a great war in the world, the power of Mashiach is awakened. The time of the cutting or the scathing or saving has come. The evil people get destroyed, are obliterated from this world, and the world becomes perfumed, becomes sweetened. And the voice of the turtle dove, which represents Mashiach, is heard in our land. What does that mean? That means simply that we need to know and look into big events in the world. And he's about to say, the bigger the war, the bigger the message, that God has something in store for us when wars break out. And they're all coming somehow to hint towards a change. And the greater the action, the greater the hint that something's about to happen. 1 second, let me just let in people into the... Okay. Welcome to those who just joined. Hold on. I'll continue when the next guy joins. Okay, whatever, he's joining. All right, so hi Daniel, welcome back. All right, so Kol HaTorah Nishma Ba'atzinu. Those who are innocent and who are killed without true judgment, when it's not fair, through the upheaval of war, are killed. Those who die who are innocent, right? In wars, guilty people die, Rashaim die, and also righteous people die, or people who don't deserve it. And those people who don't deserve it and die in war, we need to internalize that they atone for all our sins, right? Chas v'shalom, we are not like the Christians who believe that as Christians believe you can sin and do whatever and Jesus will atone for your sins. We don't believe that. Chas v'shalom is a ridiculously lowly idea. Rather, what do we believe? We believe that Mashiach comes through wars, and those who die in war are able. Those who die in war, who are innocent, atone for the generation and elevate the generation, and therefore we may not be able to see how this. I mean, is a very deep message, and it's maybe difficult to accept and internalize right now. But we need to understand that this is part of a bigger picture. And those who are being killed or were killed, who were innocent, who didn't deserve it, it will have the din of mitat tzadikim hamachaperet, the death of the righteous which atone. It gives good to the whole nation. It helps the whole nation. We don't see it now, and we don't live in the upper heavens to understand how the death of women and children can help. And obviously it doesn't help directly. It helps in a spiritual way we cannot even understand. Obviously we prefer for these things not to happen. We need to understand in the larger picture of how the world works. It's part of a lot bigger picture, and God has plans for Am Yisrael. I'm going to skip a bit. No, I'm not. I'm going to continue. When the war finishes, the world will be renewed with a new spirit, and the footsteps of Mashiach are revealed even more. What do we mean by this? It's very simple, that there's a lack of clarity before war. Right? We've had this right now in Israel. There's a lack of clarity. The protests on the streets. We don't know what's important. Achdut becomes sidelined because people just want to push their own ideas through. And And if there's a lack of clarity, there's a lack of the importance of Achdut. Even when people want to just daven in a kikar on Dizengoff, right? Then it does. No matter what the political opinions, it didn't matter. We're going to stop them from doing that because we don't want this. No, we understand Achdut is more important, and that's what hopefully will happen after this war. That, please God, the results will be as good as they can be. And however, it will create a great Achdut among Am Yisrael. And remind us again that all the political opinions are nothing compared to the neshama that we all have, which unites us. The greater the war in number and in quality and quantity, the greater we can expect Mashiach to be on his way. We need to internalize that this war, the evil Hamas, they're not shlichim of Kodesh Baruch Hu Chas v'Shalom. We shouldn't say it like that. They're not doing God's dirty work, but they are helping us understand the bigger picture. Milchemet Olam Shel Achshav, says Rav Kook about the First World War. No, this First World War, we have a great awakening, and we're longing for the what? It is a clear sign, the First World War, of changes about to happen with Eretz Yisrael. Right? As a result of the First World War happening, the Jewish people were able to get the land of Israel back through the mandate, which began well and ended badly. But eventually it led to the Ottoman Empire leaving, the British coming, and then eventually Am Yisrael getting independence in 1948. So Rav Kook was spot on that. And we need to try and understand, internalize that God has what's best for the Jewish people. And this is going to please God. In the short term, we can't see it right now, but in the long term, strengthen our presence in the land of Israel. It will probably, please God, mean that Sderot will be built into a huge city. Be'eri and Ofakim will be built up as well and strengthened and settled even more. And please God, I don't know what's going to happen, but I hope, even though Bibi, at the time of the disengagement, voted in favor of it, this time will change his mind and actually vote or push through that we should return to Gush Katif. בדעה הגדולה בגבוה העצומה ובהיגיון עמוק חודר בתשוקה אמת ורעיון בהיר צריך לקבל את תוכן הנישא שאור השם המתגלה בפעולה נפלאה בעלילות המלחמות הללו בייחוד. We need to accept the godly light which has been hinted towards us through the wars which are happening. That's what Rav Kook says. Okay, we need to understand that God is hinting towards us something very, very important, that there is a deeper message to be understood here, that we need to accept that. Okay, and that he's hinting to us something that we might be struggling to accept. He ends the piece with a tefillah, which we say daily before Kriyat Shema. Baal Mechamot, Zoreh HaSedakot, Matzmeach Yeshuot, Boreh Ufuot, Norah Tehilot, Adon Niflot, HaMecheresh Ketuvah Chol Yom Tamim Maaseh V'Reshit, Or Chadash Atzion Teiv Nizkeh Chulanu Meira Lo, which is translated as like this. We believe that Kodesh Baruch Hu is what? He is the master of wars, the soul of righteousness, producer of salvation, creator of cures, awesome of praises, master of wonders, who renews his goodness daily, the acts of creation. Let shine a new light on Zion. Let us all merit quickly to its light. We believe that he is Baal Milchamot. He is the one who's in control of war. And therefore, when war happens, we need to try and understand what God is hinting towards us. Now, obviously, I'm not a Navi, and I can't know for sure. Or know at all. But what we do know is God is trying to send us messages through this, right? God is trying to awaken us, and we need to be careful how we criticize the Kodesh Baruch Hu, because he has what's best in mind, and we don't always see that. Not only do we not always see that, most of the time we can't fathom it, right? We're like the mashal that I think I overuse, but it's a very important mashal, looking through the keyhole, and you see a guy stabbing someone else, and then you open the door and it's actually someone giving an operation to a sick patient. That's how the mashal that we can use for our understanding of a Kodesh Baruch Hu and what he's doing for us. Right? He's helping us. We don't, however, always understand it. And we need to internalize that he does actually have our best interests at hand. Rav Soloveitchik in Kol Dodi Dofek says that we need to, when good things happen to us, we need to think what God has in mind. What's he trying to get at? And we always understand that either. The point is, we have to be searching for what does God have in mind. Even if we don't always get it, we have to always be searching and thinking. Okay, God, what do you want from me? Okay, Eov didn't always do that. When good things happen, we have to obviously give thanks to God and see how amazing it is. When bad things happen, however, we also need to internalize, right? Please God, we won't always get to bad things. We'll get to good things. And those good things will direct us towards what God wants. But unfortunately, sometimes we need bad things to happen. It's like the Nativot Shalom says, on the Pasuk in Tehillim, it says, Shiftecha umishantecha, Heima Yenachmuni. God is our Mishan, our walking stick, which we need. We need a walking stick. We need to lean on him. He's also our shevet. He's also our staff. Now, a staff is used for hitting. Do I want God to hit me? Shiftecha umishantecha, Heima Yenachmuni. They will console me. It's a bit of a weird thing for us to say. So Nativa Shalom explains, I think there's a midrash like this, and he brings the midrash, that the mashal is a mashal of a sheep and a shepherd. And the shepherd, if he always gives the sheep the mish'an, the walking stick, the love and care, and the feeling that they can do what they want, then they're eventually going to walk off a cliff. Because, they have no care of the world, they don't know what they're doing wrong, they have no guidance. And therefore, we also need to realize that Shivtacha is also important. God sometimes gives us a shevet. And we need to try and analyze what God is trying to get to us. It's so hard to internalize this. And I am reading the news and I'm keeping up to date. I'm shocked what's going on. And I hope I can practice what I'm preaching. It's a very hard message to accept. That we need to be internalizing and not be worrying all the time about Iran hacking in and not believing every single thing which we're reading in the news. A lot of it is made up. A lot of it's scaremongering, and Taliban are volunteering to come and free Jerusalem if Iran and Iraq and Jordan let them come through. Right? We don't have to be scared and be news junkies completely. What we need to internalize, we need to be up to date, obviously, and know what's going on, because otherwise you can't really pray, so you don't know what's going on. But we need to internalize that God is there; He's pulling the strings, and it's hard for us to accept that because such evil happened over the last 24, 48 hours. It is incredibly crazy what we've been through as a Jewish people. It's reminiscent of the Holocaust. I haven't seen Baruch Hashem the videos, but what I'm hearing of some of the stuff which is going on is insane, and it's hard to even stomach. And we need to realize, those who are going to war now, need to realize that we are part of something bigger, and we're not coming to just stop this. We're coming to stop a battle which has been going on for centuries. Since Ishmael was sidelined by Avram, even though Ishmael himself did Shuvah, his descendants are Bnei Ishmael. They are the Ishmael before that he did Shuvah. And we need to realize that we are in a war, not to end all wars. God knows if there will be more after this. But this is a battle with Bnei Ishmael, and no matter what we do, they're not going to leave us. They're not going to leave us alone, right? We gave Gaza away; they're still on our back, right? We gave Sinai away. There was an attack a few hours ago in Sinai or in Alexandria in Egypt, right? We are hated by these people, and we need to make sure that we are representing God in the biggest way, being able to sanctify His name, and doing the right thing, following orders, being giborim, and doing as well as we can to defend as many Jews as we can. Again, it's hard to know exactly what God wants. He for sure wants something from us. And we need to try and have enough emunah to internalize that He has what our best interests at heart, even though we don't always see it. I want to give a bracha for those who are going into Lechima. I see Abraham, Daniel, Klausner, Ephraim. That's it as of now. And those who hopefully will watch this, I'm going to send a recording, to know that they are going as representatives of Kodesh Baruch Hu, not just as representatives of the Mechina or the Yechida or the Pluga or their family. You're going to represent a Kodesh Baruch Hu. And Kodesh Baruch Hu has your back. The Rambam says when you go to war, you forget everything else. You forget your family, forget your loved ones, and you just concentrate on sanctifying God's name. And when you have that in mind, you will be able to do amazing, amazing, amazing things. Please God, we will see each other soon. Please God, this battle will be over soon. And we will see all of those who are captive returned. We will see all those who have been killed soon in Tchiat HaMetim. It's very, very hard to understand and comprehend how all these innocent people have been killed, how women and children and elderly have been taken captive. And we internalize that Kodesh Baruch Hu has our best interests at heart. And my wife earlier did a event with the girls of Kitot, Gimel, and Dalet here. Learning, and then they started saying Tehillim. And that's the difference between us and our enemies. We cry over the spilling of the blood of our people. They rejoice. We love our children more than they love their own. They hate us. Golda Meir, I think, said this famously: terrorism will stop when they love the children more than they hate us. Okay, whether that's true, whether it's not, we have to understand we are different than them. We have the moral high ground. We care about people. We have a love for the whole world, for Kodesh Baruch Hu. We want the world to become a perfect place, without destruction, without war. That doesn't necessarily have to be the way. They, our enemies, only see war as the way of bringing the world to where they want it. And they see the killing of women and children and elderly and the disabled as a means to get to their ends. And we don't believe in that. And we need to know that halacha hi she'esav soneh et Yaakov. The halacha is Esav will hate Yaakov. Right? The enemies will always hate us. And we need to rise above that and not try and hasbara hours away, and Israel advocacy hours away, and look on Instagram and be in shock that the anti-Israel people are still anti-Israel after this. We're above that. We are different from that. We know that they're going to hate us. Many of them are going to hate us, no matter what we do. And we need to fight for Am Yisrael and sanctify God's name as much as we can. So, if anyone has any questions, if anyone wants to discuss anything more, especially the guys who are going into Lechima, Daniel, Ephraim, Abraham, if you have anything to ask or say, I'll be happy to try and answer it or discuss it. It's okay if you don't, as well.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate the Chizuk.
I hope it is good. It's crazy what we're in. The situation we're in. Zelo muvan. We're supposed to be in Aliyat Adorot now, right? We're supposed to be getting closer and closer. And this is a midrash which I said last night in Sudah Shlishit, which I think is so pertinent. There's a midrash which says a father and son are walking along the way. Father and son are walking along the way, and they're walking to the Medina. The Medina in that context means the city. Like in the Megillah, where it says Mea Vesrim Medina. And the son asks his father, when are we getting to the Medina? And the father says, when you see a Beit Kvarot, when you see a cemetery, Medina b'derech, know that Medina is on its way. Because where do you put the Beit Kvarot? You put the Beit Kvarot just outside the city, right? In any normal place, Jewish place at least, the Beit Kvarot normally are on the edges of the city. And if they're in the middle of the city, it's because the city is expanded, right? Sanhedria, the Beit Kvarot, the Sanhedria used to be the edge, right? Har Zaitim is on the edge. Har Menuchot used to be on the edge as well, right? And it is on one side, on the edge of the city, right? When you walk into a city, you know, when you get to the cemetery, the city's almost there. What's the deeper meaning of that, Marshall? Rav Druckmann says, Alav Shalom, that before you get to the destination, meaning the redemption, there are going to be hardships. There's going to be darkness. And then there's going to be light. He brings from the Malbim and other Mefarshim explain psukim from Tehillim about darkness and light. There is going to be a lot of darkness and light in the time of the beginning of the redemption. We're not in the time of the Holocaust. We have ways of defending ourselves. However, attacks are still happening. It's not pashut. It's not simple. However, we still have so much light. And we need to concentrate on that light and make sure that light shines through. Because we know that we've passed the big kfarot already. There might be a few more small batei kfarot along the way. But we have passed a great big kfarot, and this is a large one as well. But we know that the Medina is bederech. We know that the destination is along the way, and we're going to be there soon. We have to internalize that, keep that message with us, and know that things are going to get better. I'll just say one other midrash. I'll read it. I have it here. 1 second. Let me just find it. Find it a second. It's over here. Okay, yeah. It's in Echarabba. Rav Yudin b'shem Rabbi Ivo. Uvdahava b'chad barnash, dahava karade. There was a guy who was plowing his fields. Gad chada tote. His cow, or his ox, mooed, or whatever noise an ox makes. Ava elevei chadi arave. Some Arab passed, which is ironic, but okay, here it sounds like an Eliyahu Navi kind of individual. Amale mat. The Arab asked the Jew, "What are you?" Amale Yudai, and I'm a Jew. So he's plowing somewhere in exile, it sounds like. Amale Shai Torach Shai Padnach. Undo your ox and your plows. Amale Lama. The Jew asked him, why should I undo it? Why should I undo the ox and the plow? Amale the Beit Mikdashon Yudai Charev, because the Beit HaMikdash has been destroyed. Right? You have to stop working. Right? This moment with this Jew is plowing, it sounds like in the second temple time, this Jew is already in exile. Some Jews have returned and rebuilt the second temple. Now the second temple has been destroyed. How can you continue, says the Arab? You have to stop your work. The Beit Mikdash of the Jews have been destroyed. Amalei mana yedat. How do you know this, says the Jew? Amalei yedait min gayata de torach. I knew it from the noise that your ox made. Ad hava asik imei gad zimnachiti. They're chatting away, discussing this issue, and the oxen makes another sound. Amal asar torach asar padnach. Says the Arab, now you can tie your ox back to the plow and tie the plow to the ox and start working again. The idilit pulkana diudei, because the Redeemer of Israel had already been born. Meaning this is 2,000 years ago. And this Arab, which sounds like an Eliyahu Navi kind of individual, is saying, as soon as the Beit HaMikdash has been destroyed, no, Mashiach is already on his way. Without destruction first, they can't be rebuilt. You need first there to be destruction before then you can rebuild. Just like a Pinui v'Binui. Across Yerushalayim, across Israel now, there's this technique called Pinui v'Binui, where they take down buildings, promise those who live there to give them a bigger house, and they double the size of the building, and the building company gets the profits from the extra 10 dirot they build. It's called Pinui v'Binui, clearing of the building, where they knock it down completely and build something double the size. And Binui, this is what we're going through now generation. Pinui v'Binui. Things need to be cleared to be rebuilt. And it's a painful period in our time. But we need to realize the only good things are going to come from it. It's a long process. It's hard to see through it. And I don't wish this upon anyone to be part of this directly. Right? But we need to know that God's there doing the process. And it sounds cheesy, but we need to trust the process and realize that God is there, guiding us correctly along the way, along the path, and knowing that things can only get better. Rav Vider, the Rosh Yeshiva of HaKotel, uses this mashal. The boat, Am Yisrael are on the boat. The boat has set sail already. The destination is the redemption of the land of Israel. However, there can be lots of extra stops along the way. But eventually the boat is going to get there. We hope speedily. We hope with as least confusion as possible, but it's going to get there. We just have to wait and see how it's going to get there, and have faith that it will get there, and internalize that faith and believe that it's going to get better. Okay, so I hope for those who go into Krav now, those who go into battle, whether it be in the north, in the south, or whatever, whether it be now going to Yehuda Shomron to look after Yehuda Shomron so other people can go to Gaza, it's a very holy job. And it's one of the few mitzvot you can do with all your body. All of you guys got your profile, whether you're 97 or not, through having your 10 fingers, through having your 10 toes. Every part of your body is involved in the mitzvah. You're in the land of Israel, another mitzvah which involves every part of your body. All your part of your body is doing yeshuvah, settling the land. So you have the schut to be doing this mitzvah. You had the schut before this, but now it's become a lot more relevant. For those who were counting down the days to leave the army because nothing exciting is happening, because unfortunately we had something exciting. I'm sure it's not what anyone wanted. Now is our opportunity to actually take advantage of the mitzvah God has given us. When you go out to war against your enemy, and there's no greater enemy than today's Amalek, our enemies in the land of Israel, who we need to destroy and save as many Jewish lives as possible in that process. Father Ephraim, Bram, Daniel, and whoever else is going to listen to this, Seitchem LaShalom, Borachem LaShalom. Please God, we will rejoice together soon in the building of the Beit HaMikdash. And we won't know any more loss, and the redemption will come soon, because we know it will. It's just a question of time. And if we all learn and keep Emunah strong, it will come as speedily as possible. So, guys, I'm going to stop recording now. I think
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it.